Hello, Timmy Nafso here, Executive Vice President and co-founder of FortisPay. There was just an announcement made that Capital One has been breached. We always are talking about breaches here. Capital One has been breached. So far, the information that we know and we've been made aware of is 100 million Capital One customers in the US were affected. In addition to that, 6 million in Canada were also affected. And what was included in this are names, addresses, zip codes, email addresses, phone numbers, date of birth. In addition to that, there are some scary things happening. 140,000 US credit card customers and 80,000 secured credit card customers actually have bank accounts that have been compromised and accessed. So that's a little bit scary to hear. But the part of this that's very interesting is the breach actually occurred back in March 22nd and March 23rd. So although we're talking about this and you're hearing breaking news on different channels and so on and so forth, really this occurred back in March. And this is a kind of this conversation that we've been having around breaches and issues that are occurring is that so many businesses are already breached, they just don't know it yet. So making sure that just because you don't think you're breached doesn't mean you shouldn't go ahead and start to figure out what's happening at your business from a firewall perspective, because if you actually dig into this article, you start to understand that the more sophisticated hackers are actually utilizing vulnerabilities with firewalls, utilizing malware to access and gain systems that they shouldn't be in. The applications having to do with credit card applications for Capital One date back to 2005. So even if you're not a Capital One customer today, if you've ever even filled out an application, your information could be compromised at this point, right? The good news that we're being told is that over 99% of Social Security numbers were not affected by the breach. So over 99% of Social Security numbers were not affected. So your Social Security number should be safe, although there is a percentage, the 1% chance that between 2005 and today that it could have been compromised. Unfortunately for Capital One, stock went down 5%. Now we're going to talk a little bit to business owners, small and mid-size, as well as large business owners. We just want to think about this for a second. The stock went down 5% because of a breach that happened. A breach that occurred internally that has been announced today that occurred back in March. And why this is important is we've talked about the confidence that the general public has in your business, your customers have in your business. If it could move 5% that quickly for Capital One, what can it do to your business if you're breached? So what do you need to do as a business owner? What do you need to do as the general public, as a citizen, if you will, a customer, a consumer? And that question is answered in several ways. Number one, as a business owner, you want to hire a third-party company to come in and audit your technology and your systems and make sure you don't have vulnerabilities. You're actually asking them to attempt to hack into your system. That's what scans like PCI compliance will actually do for you. So if you utilize a credit card processing company, they'll actually do PCI scans for you. In addition to that, if you are a general customer or consumer, you also want to protect your data. You want to protect your Social Security number. You want to make sure that you change any passwords that you may have. You want to maybe do some type of monitoring, credit monitoring, in case you are part of that 1% of somebody having your Social Security information and wanting to actually fill out an application or try to utilize your system from an identity theft perspective. So credit monitoring, your credit score monitoring is very important to do as well. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Please comment below and subscribe if you find this valuable. Thanks for listening.